Hello. Aha, there we go. Right. Aha. I don't really know what people use today. Hello. Okay, let's so thanks for joining the stream. If you want to have a chat, just type in the YouTube chat and it will appear on the screen, and we'll try and answer it. Let's get the session going. So hopefully you can still hear me over the noise of the cars. So go for a spin around Road America. A little bit early. Most people so far? See, we've got 3 people in the YouTube chat. So anyone who's got Project Cars 2 on the PC is welcome to join. I will put the password up in the chat. Alright, we'll just give that another try. So we'll quit out of there and create online event. Redesign settings, force default setups. So host. Okay, excuse me. Right. Okay, so we'll wait for a few people to join the lobby and then we'll see what happens. Alright, we've got Mooney back in. It's good. Alright, let's start some driving. Welcome to everyone who's watching on YouTube. It's good to have you along.
Go, go, go!
The idea is that every Tuesday we do we'll start off So if you guys have questions about the information, please feel free to keep on it. So the plan for tonight is we've got a 3-hour practice plan. So we'll see who wants to go on and go around. One about 7 minutes. So what we're going to do for the first is we've done this 911R. So this 911 GT3 R, not the 24-hour car. Pretty easy to drive. And it's a pretty good looking car. There are some 20 odd liveries available in Project Car 2. If you sign up for Project Car 2, you get all of the cars, you get all the tracks, and you get all of the liveries included. There are two versions you can get. There's the standard one and the deluxe. The main difference is the deluxe one comes with all of the downloadable content. So there's some additional packs that come out periodically with additional cars, additional tracks, and if you buy the standard one you have to pay for those. If you get the deluxe and you get the free, some of those you may be interested in, some of them you may not be. Wow. I'm guessing there's a little bit of acceleration of the track limit there. So Road America was chosen basically because it's fairly easy to practice, learn, but it's good fun to drive on. So definitely some challenging corners. Very easy to overdrive a lot of them, as I think I've tried to demonstrate. For some reason it's showing us 2 hours and 5 minutes left. Okay, don't think that's quite right, but let's add in some timing. So all pretty close. It's going to be a good racing series, I think. Because everyone fairly close in time. Just got out there again. Pipping on.
Go, go, go!
And then the 4 blue squares are shown on my side. now you just let the comment down to the down. It's still worth looking at it. somehow managed to lock myself out of Project Cars 2. I switch dealers, and there have it. Is the stream frozen for everyone else, or is it just for me? It looks like it has for everyone else. Trying to get the screen back. Really annoying because library games. Why is it updating? Ah, the phone computers. There we go. Alright, so I will recreate the race. There we go. So it's coming back. Whoa, where's my... I can't have lost the internet. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Create online event, host settings. Okay, save that. Realism is good. Road America. I'm going to choose different livery just because I can. So here we go. Porsche 911R livery selection. Let's be them today. There we go. And start. So that was annoying. But hopefully you should have the stream back up now. Well, once again, let me know if you can see the stream, if you've got any questions, if there's anything we can help you with, if you can hear me. Alright, let's get that session started. Looks like everyone's back in, which is good. Alright, I daren't try and get to that view. Let's check some Facebook stuff. Alright, so Ed. Okay. Alright, Scott, just seen your thing on Facebook. I've tried to turn down the desktop audio as much as possible. Let me do that. Hopefully it'll let me back in. I'll turn up the mic. Aha, let me back in. Look at that. It's like magic. Alright, so now I can see the live chat, which is good. So let's go and race. So I've tried to move the mic closer to me and turn down the desktop volume, so hopefully it should be clearer. It's always fun when you try and set up streaming for the first time, because you only get the sound of your own voice. I'm going to check to the left, no one there, off we go. So cold tyres, we won't go too hard. So if you want to know how to chat, there should be a live chat thing right next to the video stream. So I can see things popping up on Facebook. Not actually in Facebook at the moment. So if you want to post it on YouTube, I'll be able to see it. Whoa! Yeah, don't do that. Okay. Hi, Matt. So I know obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are work days for most people. Um, do those days work for people doing the sim racing series, or should we try and do more stuff at the weekends? The problem we have with weekends is there's so many other PCA events on at the weekend that it makes it really difficult to find a time that we won't conflict with somebody. I'm going to put in and see what's going on Facebook. Cool. Alright. Sounds like you can hear me now, which is good. Alright. Progress. Alright, let's see what other people are up to. Definitely seems like I need to work on this latency issue. There's quite a big gap between what I'm watching on YouTube and what's being streamed out. Yeah, Matt, I've been recommending Xbox One X to people basically because it can get really complicated when you start getting into PC stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can spend money on. Xbox One X is what, $4.99 at the moment. If you add in Project Cars 2, which is like $50, 40 bucks, and then G920 steering wheel setup is about $2.99, I think. So what does that for you? 840. So you're under $1,000. So that's what, less than 2 tires for our cars. That will get you started from nothing. Obviously, you can spend as much as you like on this stuff. If you have a look at RC America, they have some motion rigs on there for like 35 grand. So obviously there's a wide range of stuff you can get. I see a lot of people posting on Facebook that they're getting driving rigs, like seats and things that you can mount your pedals to. That's pretty neat setup. Again, a minefield depending on what you're into, but the basic setups like the open wheeler or play seat, they run for about 300. Most people I think have a TV already, so that's not too much of a concern. If you want a new TV, then that's up to you as well. So about $1,000 all in should get you set up with a good play seat, brand new Xbox One X, brand new set of pedals and wheel, and then if you want to upgrade the wheel and pedal set, you can get a really top end set will be about 1,500. A really good set is around the 700 or 800 mark. Thrustmaster TSPC, T500R, something like that. So we've got an iRacing series as well, which starts on Saturday. First round is at Daytona. That's obviously separate from Project Cars 2. The content for iRacing is a bit more expensive. You have to buy each of the tracks and the car. So this is why we chose Project Cars 2 as the main PC racing series. But we are going to do an iRacing one because I know that there's a bunch of people that A, can only make weekends, and B, also already have iRacing. That was actually the sim that most people already had. So that's going to start on Saturday, providing there's enough people signed up for it. Just go to members.iracing.com, search for the league. It's called Peach State PCA Sim Racing. We've posted it on Facebook. It's free to join. There are something like 24 slots available. On iRacing you can actually choose your own number and also paint your own car, so that could be interesting to see what people do. It also keeps track of the leagues and everything else. It's also the sim that the professional race drivers use, so if you've ever found Nicky Tim on YouTube or one of the others who use iRacing regularly, there's a lot of good content out there for that. So let's see if we can do something useful. So I'm still stuck in the pits. Let's go and drive. So during normal races, we'll probably live stream them still, but we won't necessarily be responding to stuff in chat unless I can get the VR chat thing working. Tried to do that last night, it was not a happy experience. So if I can get the chat to display in VR, then we'll respond to chat, otherwise it'll just be okay. Okay, so you can see someone's behind us. Whoa. And that's one of the reasons, because I want to run in VR so I can actually look in the mirror. So for iRacing we're going to do the 991 Cup, unless there's a consensus that we want to run something else. I think we'll include the 991 Cup for those that want to run it, but it is one of the harder cars to drive, so potentially we could do something like the 488 GT3 or the GTE. Obviously GTE will be faster. See somebody drifting in the background. Alright, let's try and concentrate a little bit. So Lee and Sherry asked me a little while back, I think when we did the 3 sheets social, what the advantages of sim racing were for real driving. I guess one of the things that I find the most useful is really getting used to braking hard and late. Didn't need to brake there, but it also helps with rotation, so that hard braking into a trail braking situation, that's something that you really can't practice very much on the road, but it can be very useful, particularly things like autocross, get the car rotated. Yes, I'll be doing iRacing on Saturday. I've actually set myself and Cliff Lipple up as the admins on that, just so we have a couple of people to get the session started. But that 991 Cup car, that is a tricky car to drive, particularly on Daytona where it's, you know, there's a lot of decrease in radiuses. Excellent. Must be because I'm driving slower. Although somehow it reckons I've got a potential of a 213. I've got nowhere near that so far. So ideally I'd want to be checking the mirrors going into a corner like this, making sure no one's diving down the inside, but that's not so easy to do when it's a button press away. So definitely one of the things that as a sim racer you want to practice. Whoa, that's not so good. So I've actually got the chat on another monitor, that's why every time I look over there to read stuff I crash, basically. But that's all good, that's why it's practice. So the other reason we chose Project Cars 2 is it's one of the few sims that's available on all the platforms that is actually more of a simulator than an arcade game. So your Forzas and GTs they're good. You know, if you want to play with some cars and work your way through the championships, they're good fun. But they don't really simulate as well as something like Project Cars or Assetto Corsa does. Assetto Corsa is great, it has more Porsche cars in there, so if you have a console or a PC, I'd definitely recommend picking that up. It doesn't have as many tracks as Project Cars does, and on the console obviously you can't add tracks, so there is a version of Road Atlanta in Assetto Corsa on the PC, but it's freeware, so that's great for the PC guys, but everyone else would not be able to use it. One of the tips for iRacing in that 991 Cup car is to get your braking done before you start changing down. That could be a real problem. If you're used to driving some of the Formula 1 games where you can brake and bang through the gears at the same time, that doesn't work in the iRacing Cup car. You'll just lock up the rear wheels and spin all the time. Whoa. Ah. Somehow kept on the track. So that corner is one where you've got to turn in early and sort of understeer through it. Oh, got a good time. And this corner coming up here is another one where you want to turn in sort of before you see it, and then you can ride it out. And then at the last cone, just bang it down, turn in at the end of that curb, and try and get a early on the power exit. That one is pretty crucial because obviously you've got this long straight at the end, so that's really going to drive your lap time. Where we get to 18.9. Who's behind? Way off there. There's no way I'm not going to get a penalty for that. There we go. Turn in early, all the way out to the outside, bring it back. There we go, 2.5 seconds, that'll do. Brake hard, down to third. This might be alright, this one. $15.5, that'll do. So if you have a PC, I would highly recommend considering VR. It's quite amazing, or any kind of head tracker really. It's quite amazing how you get used to just looking at the mirrors and looking, towards the apex. You really start to notice it when you're using a monitor and just looking straight ahead. I just threw away that second that we gained. Possibly. To be honest, I'm not that great with some of the camera options. Okay, so we're locked to interior views here. Let's come out. Turn to pit box. Let's have a look at the options. Camera. So we can change the field of view. I think movement. Maybe not. Really, what we kind of want is at the HUD, I suppose. Let's see. What can we put here? Leaderboard off. What's this? Mirror. Let's stick that on. Visual split. Map. Actually, map would be good. Okay. Save that. So what that will do is that will give us. So now, now if you look in the top right hand corner, we have a map that's showing light, and we also have the mirror above, which obviously is a bit more centered. So that's that virtual mirror makes things a little bit easier. I think we may catch somebody up here. So one of the things in iRacing that's quite common is to bind some chat commands to keys, particularly on the steering wheel. So there's like a pass left and pass right option. I don't know whether it has. Oh man, really messed that one up. So the map's kind of useful because it can show you like whether you should be looking in the mirror, basically. And it's kind of nice it has the turns written on it as well, which is kind of neat. Alright, let's see what we can do. For a 911, this is not nearly as painful to drive as some of the older cars where any touch of the brakes is just going to send you round in a circle. There are some, I think there's a 935 in here and a 936, which are just insane. When they get on the turbo boost, you're pretty much guaranteed to just spin. Oh, should have gone in slower. Well, I thought about doing the Cayman GT4, but this is a bit quicker. I think this one has quite a lot of traction control going on as well, which helps. I don't know why I keep spinning every time I look at the clock. It's not a good way to get around the course. Somehow it doesn't penalise you, it doesn't class that as gaining an advantage, which obviously you don't because you're sideways, but might be a bit much. Yeah, they weren't happy with that. So let's pop in the pits and see what the other guys are up to. So if anyone has Project Cars and you want to join in, the password is PCAVDE1, and you'll find the lobby. If you just go to online events or browse online events, you'll find it under Peach State PCA Sim R, because there wasn't enough space to put racing in there. There's only 4 of us in here at the moment. Everyone is welcome. I'm on PC. We're going to do an Xbox one of these next week. Not quite sure whether we'll be streaming it because I haven't yet figured out how to do that yet. But there will definitely be another one of these next Tuesday. Same time, 7 till 10 on Xbox. We are also working on doing something for PlayStation. So if there's interest, then Jason Domini has volunteered to host the PlayStation rounds on Project Cars 2. So far nobody's signed up for PlayStation though, so definitely need some people to sign up for that if we're going to continue to do it. Otherwise we'll do an extra Xbox round or an extra PC round or something like that, or have a break. One of the things with this series is we don't really know how much or how little people want to race, or when people are available, or what platforms they have. I mean, we tried to get that out of the survey, but platform-wise, that wasn't too bad. We could figure out who had what. But day of the week, the people were available, particularly correlating that with the platform was a bit difficult. So I did the best I could with the data we had available. If that doesn't work and the majority of people want to move to a different day, then we can definitely do that. Sort of. So the way that I found to do it is using on the PC is with Steam chat in the group. So there's a Peach State PCA Sim Racing group on Steam, which I'll invite everyone who signs up or friends me into there. And you can there's a chat group you can use there, which you can do voice chat with. There's no voice chat within the game. You can do text chat, but you know, who wants to text and drive when you're racing? On console, I believe that there is voice chat, but I haven't really tried that yet. And part of that's because the consoles come with built-in microphones, so I think they've built that in. Hopefully that's something they'll add in the future though, because it would be nice to just have a button on the steering wheel you push to go and talk to other people, particularly if you're about to pass them or things like that. See who else is out there. Cool. Hi, Gus. Yeah, so what I did is there is an option in here under HUD layout. So it seems to have disappeared. Oh yeah, mirror. So up here there's an option to turn the mirror on. Um, so this is like a virtual mirror, which obviously this half is not very useful. You can't see really what's going on behind you. But the virtual mirror above makes that a little bit better. So if I go back to drive, you'll see at the top of the screen, I get my mirror. And we've also got the map going on in the top right hand corner, which is a bit cheating. We don't really need the map to know where we're going. Hi Jim. Um, so I did a little bit of practice, mainly when choosing the cars to make sure that they would actually be drivable. I wanted something easy to start with so that people could concentrate on the connection and the racing as opposed to trying to fight the car the whole way around the track. And so I'm using the default setup. So I haven't made any setup changes at all, which is ideally the plan that we're going to do for the league. I might change that because different people's pedal setups can make that difficult to drive with. Also, the pictures that are posted on the website, a lot of those were done at Road Atlanta. Thanks, Gus. Sorry, not Road Atlanta, Road America. So I did a few laps there, just doing photo mode and photo screenshots and stuff. Um, in both this and the Cayman. And I have way too many hours misspent driving on various circuits, virtually anyway. So just out of interest from the people that are watching, if we did an endurance race, how long would people be willing to drive? I mean, it would have to be a weekend, so most likely a Saturday. You know, if we did a race that started at like 9 and went to 9, we could do a 12 hours of sea ring, potentially. Actually, I'm not sure whether this one has sea ring in it, but we could do like a 6 hours of Silverstone. We could do 24 hours of Spa if people are really into it. Open to ideas. I know the survey had a good number of people that were interested in doing endurance racing, but I don't want to book something that's going to be too long. Right, we're going to catch this guy out. Okay, so I'd probably say if you have nothing at all, I would recommend Xbox One X. The main reason for that is any steering wheel thing you get for Xbox One X would be compatible with a PC if you wanted to go that route. Whereas PlayStation, a lot of the equipment doesn't tend to be cross-compatible. I think there's something that Sony has done. There is no cost for the Peach State Sim Racing series. Caveat to that, there's also no prizes. So what we're looking to do is, if we can get enough interest and demonstrate that we have people showing up to the races, we'll look for some sponsorship, and then there will be prizes. So right now there's no trophy at the end of the year. There'll be nothing at the members party or anything like that for the sim racing, unless we get to that point, because I don't really want to go through the hassle of trying to collect money from people. Not for this. I mean, it's something you can do for free. Project Cars 2 doesn't cost us anything to host the races or anything like that. Alright, 6 hours is pretty good. I guess the challenge is knowing if it's going to be bad weather. I suppose this time of year it's quite predictable it's going to be at least cold, even if it's not raining. I don't know whether you can do teams on Project Cars 2. You definitely can on iRacing, because I know they do some endurance racing, some long endurance races, which are multiple drivers. I think they've got a 24 Hours of Daytona coming up this weekend on iRacing, which could be kind of interesting. And they tend to broadcast those as well, with proper commentators and stuff like that. So if you're interested in, and you've put up with watching me tutor around today, you might want to go and check those out at the weekend. Just go to iRacing.com, and it's normally streaming when you hit their website, or it's a bar at the bottom of the screen. So the plan at the moment is, entirely selfishly, because I'm mostly free on Tuesdays, is that the virtual DEs, which are 2 or 3 hours, would be on Tuesdays. But the regular sessions, if you have a look on the Peach State website, we have 3 days. So the first race is the 6th, 7th and 8th of February. And, whoa, someone's going the wrong way. We have the PC on the Tuesday, Xbox on, sorry, PlayStation 4 on the Wednesday, and then Xbox on the Thursday. Nothing is set in stone yet. We could move that around. So iRacing is only on PC at the moment. It's kind of it's like doing real DEs. It's like a step up from this, in the sense that it's going to be more of an investment. You need to spend on each of the tracks, on each of the cars, and there's a subscription that's associated with it. So it is good in the sense that you could find yourself, if you're really good at it, racing against proper drivers. I mean, like, I keep mentioning Nicky Thim because he's one of the guys I like to follow on YouTube, but he's the 2016 World Endurance Championship or champion. Yes, we will be hosting iRacing on Saturday, so that's 10 to 11 in the morning at Daytona, currently in the 991 Cup car. Probably won't be doing a live chat during that though, because it's hard enough to drive as it is. Now what I might do, because I've also got some time on Sunday, is I may schedule a longer run on Sunday afternoon, so maybe we can do an endurance race or something. Let's quit out here. Alright, we might be having a race. Alright, let's see what people want to do. Okay, so Saturday, right, so what you do for iRacing is you go to, first of all, you have to have an iRacing account. So go and, if you want to do that, go and sign up. The details of the rounds are posted on the Peach State website. But also, once you're signed up, you can get into the league directory, and if you search for Peach State PCA Sim Racing, there is you'll find our league. If you just click the option to join, then I'll get a email, I guess, saying you've requested to join. I'll approve it, and then you'll be in there. And so there won't be a password as such, I don't think, but you'll have to be invited. You know, I'll have to confirm you to join the session. And once you're in the league, then you're in for every event, I think. So, I mean, to be honest, it's the first time I've hosted a league, so let's we'll see how it goes. Alright, so about an hour from now, it looks like we'll have a go at a race. Give people a bit more time to practice. Definitely have some very inconsistent times on my end, so maybe I should work on my setup a bit. Let's see what other people are up to. Alright, Steve, choosing your car on here, when you go into, so what we did today is we did an online event, a custom online event, and when you do that, you choose a lobby name and a password. For the league, it's slightly different. For the league, you sign up through Club Reg, and I invite you to my friends list, and then I invite you to the league. And it's only if you do the league that you need to select your car in advance, because I have to put you in the league as using that car paint livery. When you join the online event, you get to choose your car as you join. So everyone's been pretty good about picking 911 GT3 Rs, but I think you could actually join this lobby with any other, possibly any other car, but probably any other GT3 car. I think everyone's in the pits at the moment. Let's see if there's anything we should be doing on the setup, shall we? So let's go into edit setup. So this is another reason why we chose iRacing. There's a lot of stuff that you can do here. So here we have tyres. We've got the temperatures across each of the parts of the tyre. We can change the tyre pressures and so on. Choose how much fuel we've got. So if we're doing a half an hour race at an average of 2 minutes 20, that's going to be what, 15 laps. So bump that up, see if we can get 15 laps. Okay, 91 litres. That's going to be pretty heavy. Let's see how that handles. Okay. Let's go drive. So pit limiter, So we have it set up for manual driving out of the pits, which is why it comes up with the speed limit indicator. You can also do an automatic drive out of the pits, so you have no control, and then you don't get that. So we've got somebody else coming out to play. So we shouldn't be setting any records with this fuel load. Just want to make sure we can do some consistent lap times and see where we're at. Oops. So anyone on here who hasn't already joined our Facebook group, I definitely encourage you to do that. Any passwords or impromptu sessions we're going to post up there first, because it is the easiest way for people to communicate. If we put it in an e-blast, basically that has to go to the person who puts the e-blast together by Friday, then it doesn't go out till Monday, and then it's often too close to the event for people to really join. So Facebook, definitely worth joining. You don't have to post your entire life up there if you're not one of these people that does social media. You can literally join it to follow the Peach State Club and also the Sim Racing series and participate in that. So definitely recommend that. We did look at doing a forum, but if you do a forum, if you sign up to a forum, you need to choose a username, give your email address, choose a password. So that's all the same things you have to do for Facebook. Hence, there was no point in us hosting a forum. So that's the reason why we have the Facebook group. Oh, it's not good. So the tyres warm up quickly with all that fuel on there. You probably can't hear it because I turned down the volume, but they're squealing quite a bit. Yeah, 18.5, that's not too bad. So we've got Mike up in front of us. I know it's not exactly realistic having those things above your head, but it certainly helps in identifying who is who. Particularly when people are all racing in the same livery. Alright, up to 5th. Turn in. Whoa, too early. We'll ride the curb all the way through there. Yeah, that wasn't good. So has anyone driven Road America for real? So my Steam profile name is Andrew Elson with no space in between there. But if you go and have a look, you should be able to find the Steam group PCA, Peach State PCA Sim Racing. And then if you want to ask to join that, you'll find the rest of us in there. And Steve, if you want to join tonight's session, the password I can give you. There's still plenty of time for you to get in and Oh yeah, 35k for the RC. Yeah, you don't have to spend that, obviously. Virtually nobody has a full motion rig because you don't really need it. And Steve, you don't need to be invited to join this session, so um, feel free to join in if you want. Thanks, Matt. I'm running a Fanatec Club Sport 2.5 wheelbase with the 918 RSR rim and the Club Sport V3 pedals. I've got the brake pedal mod on that as well, so it makes the pedal really stiff. It's pressure sensitive. So when I'm applying the brakes, it's more about how much pressure I'm using than how far I'm moving the pedal. But you can, I raced for like 10 years with a G25 Logitech, which I donated to somebody else in the club back in November. So like the new, I think it's a G920 now, is a perfectly good wheel. Thrustmaster, TSPC, the T500, they're all really good options as well. Alright, this is not doing too bad on this fuel load. So that wheel works on both of them. That's pretty neat. I know on Fanatec you have to get entirely new wheelbase to do that, so it's one of the reasons I didn't rush out and get a PlayStation. Alright, go and watch some other people drive. Yeah, Logitech wheel is really good. The main thing with the different levels of wheels is how they're driven. So all of them have a motor. The cheaper the wheel, the more likely it is to be driven by a cog, which means you'll have a little bit of slack in there. when you go up to like the mid-level, like the Fanatec's and the and some of the higher Thrustmasters, they have a belt which gives you a bit of a smoother force feedback. And then at the really top end, you get the what they call direct drive wheels, where the wheel is bolted directly onto the motor shaft, and that one, you know, they can run pretty expensive. Um, but they're really highly rated. Cool. Steve, I see you registered for the racing series. That's cool. Good to have you on board. Let's see. That's like, wow, 213. That's really cool. I guess we know who's going to be winning the race then. Awesome. We'll take a load of fuel out and see what we can do. Okay, 4 laps. Quick setup. Okay. Off we go. See what that does. Lose quality. 213.7. That's probably not going to be something I'll be able to beat. Good time. Cool. So, Steve, if you signed up for the PC race, what I'll do is I'll move you over to the Xbox race, or you can cancel and sign up for the Xbox race. They're actually going to be on different nights. So the Xbox one will be on Thursday, mainly because the different platforms don't talk to each other. Hopefully that's something they'll change in the future as well. But we have a good number of people signed up for the Xbox race, so it should be good fun as well. And the sim is the same, it's the same software, so you're not losing out by being on Xbox at all. That's, yeah. If you register for the if you go on club registration and register for the Xbox race, you should see in the name of the event in brackets it will have the platform. So the one you signed up for had PC in brackets, and there's one that has Xbox in brackets. Just sign up for that one, and that will ask you for different information. So that one's going to ask you for your Xbox gamer tag, because that's how I need to invite you on the Xbox. And what will happen there is you will be, I will add you to my friends list, so you get an invitation there, and then I will be able to put you into the league. And then once I start the session on, I think it's the 8th of February, then you'll be able to see it in your participating online championships. Alright, let's see if we can do this properly. to slow down. I need all the speed I can get. So we'll probably get a penalty. There we go. $15.5. Alright. Could have been better. We seem to have plenty of fuel though. I'm sure we've done more than this will be our third lap. We started off with what, 30 litres? So I'm not quite sure the fuel consumption it calculated was right. Yeah, we only used about 3 litres in that race, on that lap. Right. Oh, it's a little bit wide.
And we've still got fuel left. Can't get anywhere near that 2:13 though. That was a pretty amazing time. One thing I would recommend is if you're going to do this on a console, definitely get a wheel. This is not an easy game to play, or sim to drive, I should say, on the controllers. Even though the previous title to this, Project Cars, was even worse, they're supposed to have optimized it, it's still not easy. See if we can do this in fourth. Sort of. Is that going to help us out overall? 14, 15, 16. Nope. That was messy. Better turn. Probably get one more lap out of this. Ah, that's gonna be. Oops, that's not gonna be good. So back. I think Moo's car is ghosted because it's a bit wrecked, or he may be suffering some latency. So he's out there. Slightly crumpled. See, a few people have had off-track excursions. There are a few dents going on there. Alright, just for fun, I can see if I can edit. I don't think I can choose a new car. Okay, what should we do now? See if we can tune the setup a bit. It's actually handling okay though. I mean, it's a little bit oversteery. And one of the things you can do here, we'll use the race engineer. So it has this feature where you can tell it what you don't like. So let's say we want to tune the suspension. So it asks you a question. It's when turning in. So then it gives you some suggestions. So you can stiffen up the front spring rates, stiffen up the front anti-roll bar, or do both. So let's do both of those. Right, save. Let's give that a try. Alright, let's turn to pit box. For some reason I missed the chat. So to move to the next session we need to go, I think we should be able to go to online lobby. Okay, so how do we move on the session? Can't edit the car. Doesn't seem to be an option to vote for the next session. Options. No. So we'll see if we're going to restart this session. Couldn't quite okay, we go straight to race. See if Moon is up for that. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's only on iRacing. GT3R.com. I didn't create Club Reg for the iRacing event because it keeps track of who's signed up in iRacing itself, and people can request to join directly on there if they have a profile. So I think that'd be easier. Alright, so let's go racing. Right, so create online event. Unfortunately, you have to keep each state CACR one. Right, keep the settings the same. We're not going to have a practice or qualifying. We have a 30-minute race at Road America. Let's go. Let's see who joins in. So we'll run this race if we get a couple of people in there, and then after that, what I'll do is I'll show you how the online championship is set up, a little bit of that, and then we'll probably call it a day. Thanks for everyone who stuck around. Really appreciate you joining us for the first stream. It's been a bit rough, given that I've never really done this before. There's only so much you can really get an impression of from this side of the fence, so definitely appreciate your feedback. Yeah, Mooney looks like his connection is not very strong. Getting that red signal on the right hand side. That's better. Mike's in, good. So this is going to be challenging because it's a standing start, so the run down to the first corner is obviously going to be a little bit contentious. Alright, I think that's probably going to be everyone. Alright, seems like we're ready to go. Oh, go away. Okay, what are we waiting for? Alright, what is it doing? What is it doing? Should be starting. Everyone's here, everyone's ready. Right, I'm not sure why it's waiting for us to do something. Sink in. Right, let's make myself the set as race director. Alright. Waiting for time. Alright, let's see if we can cancel. Ah, here we go. Ah. There we go. User error, apparently. Okay, so I want to go back and drive. Oh, what? Looks like I'm the director. Okay, maybe we'll try this game. Fun and games. See if I'm guessing I can't because I was hosting. So filter, beach. Yep. Right, let's create the online. New settings. Gain. Each state. Easily sim. Oh. Yeah, VD1. Ah, you learn. Right. It's because I set myself as race director thinking that would start things off, and it didn't. So, appreciate everyone's patience for my inability to operate the software. Things we're learning. Alright, so once we get everyone in again, we'll start and hopefully get to do some driving. Alright, we'll wait for Guts and Glory to show up, and then give it a shot. There we go. Right, let's give this a go. Load setup, we're going to go for the race. That way I have enough fuel to get to the end. Tyres will take a beating, but yeah, you always get new tyres. So for some reason I'm in the front, which is going to be interesting. Right, here we go. So we're going to keep it neutral, and when the lights change we'll flick into first. So we've got a good jump. See if we can pull out a lead. Use a little bit of brake through the corners just to get the front to bite a bit. The last of the late breakers. One thing with sim racing, just like the real thing, tyre management is critical. But unlike in the real thing, you don't necessarily know so easily when the tyres are going off because you can't feel the G-forces. So you just have to kind of listen for the squeal of the tyres. That's normally your indication that you're stressing them a bit too much. So we just want to kind of take it easy, get them warmed up. Got a reasonable lead. I'm sure I can throw that away at some point. How does it think I've got a potential of 212? It's obviously never seen me drive. So actually braking earlier for that corner was better because I was able to set it up a bit better around the apex. I often find that actually underdriving these cars is better because you don't have that sensation of speed that you get in a real car. So the tendency is to just plough into every corner at 100 miles an hour and think, why doesn't it go round? and it doesn't go round because you drove into the corner at 100 miles an hour. So just biding your time on the throttle and, you know, braking a little bit early, set up the corner nicely. And that's going to make your tyres last longer. And this turn's really where you're going to notice your tyres go, because you'll just be drifting towards the outside really quickly. And this next turn as well. The map is proving quite useful in seeing who's approaching and how far people are back. 15.5, that's not bad for 83 litres of fuel. So yeah, that early braking into turn 1 helps a lot. Just rolling it round and feed it out. So I'm not quite sure who was diving down the inside into this turn on the first lap, but obviously you can see that it can be very tricky to try and do that sort of stuff on the first lap when your tyres are cold. The only thing this really lacks is a lap counter, so I have no idea really. I mean, I suppose on the top left it's showing me my last couple of laps and the lap numbers, but I don't know how many laps there are to go or how much time there is left to go. I managed to lose nearly a second there. Whoa! See, I told you I could lose it. So that's what I mean about knowing, like, when you rejoin the track and being careful. Like, I knew he was approaching, but I wasn't quite sure where he was. And without the ability to easily look 90 degrees to the right, it was a bit tricky to know where he was coming on. So one of the things I'd definitely recommend is work out some of the key bindings and the head movement on the camera, particularly if you've only got a single screen setup like I have here. But now we've got a race on. So I know he's faster than me. So just got to hope for a mistake, I guess. Try and keep with him and hope that he does something that I would do. Like drive off the corner, as I did on the last lap. It's not bad. And narrowly avoided him there. So, I don't know whether he loaded up on fuel for this race, given that we restarted. And that would obviously change the balance of the car from when he was doing amazing times earlier. So he's just turning into turn 1. But since this is a 911, you've got to be careful with the brakes and just be gentle with it. Definitely doesn't like to be chucked into a corner too much. That corner is really easy to spin, as you've probably seen from a few attempts earlier. The car gets light as you go over that bump, and you're also downshifting as well, so it's just really a combination of factors that the car doesn't like. Just a light dab of the brake, keep the front in. So it feels like Guts and Glory is closing on me. If you look at the map, it looks like he's definitely getting a bit closer. 2:16.2. Could be worse. Definitely get some tyre squeal from the rear. And from the front there. Thanks to everyone who's stuck with us so far. I realise it's getting late. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen so far and will come and join us on one of the events. If there are other days that would work better for you than the ones we've already chosen, please post something on Facebook, or you can find a link, I think, on the club website where you can email me. We're definitely looking to be able to provide things that everyone can get involved with. If there's other people that would like to be admins and host races, we can potentially do that as well. These races do require that the admin is online to start the race, so unfortunately I can't commit to driving 7 days a week, and hosting 7 days a week. So I think he's closing up quite quickly on me now. Probably because I'm doing stuff like that. Yeah, he's definitely a lot closer now. So I'm going to have to watch for maybe a dive down into, what would be turn 3? That really tight turn. Alright, that's a much better turn 1. Second was a bit low for that. We seem to have pulled out a little bit though. We've got somebody stuck in the pits. That's unusual. I think we're going to lose a place. No, he's just far enough back that I can mess up and get away with it. That won't last. So about half the race done. Tyres still feel okay. Well, the map suggests he's right behind me. The mirror suggests he's a bit further away than that, but he's not that far behind. It's sometimes easy on that turn, that last turn, to keep the throttle bearer too much and then just do a 360, which doesn't do any favours for your lap time. We'll brake a bit later. Oh. Potential for 212? I don't think so. Now he's going to have a good run on me, because the race director made me slow down. So I'll try and defend a little bit. But he's right there, he's looking down the inside, move over once. So he's right behind me again. So I'm probably going to expect to dive down inside. I know he's faster than me, but he's still behind me, which will work for now. Maybe I can pull out a bit of a gap. Challenge when you've got somebody that close is it tends to make you overdrive, which will then slow you down because you kill your tyres too quickly. Got a little bit more of a gap. Let's try and take a good run through here. A little bit of a lift. Out to the curb. Yeah, the gap's building up again now. Let's get a good run into here though, because he is faster than me through here. Hit the apex. Don't want to steer too much. See who gets the better run out of that last turn. Maybe a drag race down to the first corner. He's right there, really close. There it goes. Good pass. So I'm going to let him take the position, because that wasn't really very fair. So that's one of the big challenges with wheel-to-wheel racing, is judging your braking distance. So I don't know what happened to everyone else, but whoa, yeah, tyres are definitely going away now. Get a lot more understeer, so we've got to slow down. So he's way ahead of me now. Okay. See if we can catch him up and not hit him. Definitely getting understeer through here now. You can feel the steering wheel going lighter. Alright, he's definitely putting away though. I don't think we've got any answer for that. Still time for one of us to make a mistake though. Two 14.315, that's not bad. Do some of those. So that's what, a lap and a half, 2 laps. Second's good enough. It's probably where I deserve to be. Whoa, that one just kept going around. Ah, yes. Tyres are dead now. There's no time for a pit stop, so we'll just soldier around. There's enough of a gap to third that don't need to worry about that. So just be dealing with understeer. $14.3, it's not bad. It should be the last lap, I think. Yeah, it should be the last lap. Yes, unless he somehow manages to not drive around the course in the next 4 corners, I think we'll be second. That's fine. So, as we mentioned before, the first race of the season is on February 6th. We may do a couple of impromptu races like this before then, but that's the first official race that counts for anything. We have an Xbox One session like this next Tuesday, and if you look out on Facebook, there may be something happening on Sunday afternoon, maybe on Xbox. Actually, if you want to go to Facebook and nominate a track for Sunday, be sort of Sunday afternoon between like 1 and 4 p.m. Maybe we could do something in the morning as well. We can get some more people together. May or may not stream that. Well, thanks for everyone for sticking with us. See, we've still got 6 people on after 3 hours. That's it's pretty cool. Okay, so we had a countdown to race completion. There we go. It was unfortunate we had that crash, but other than that, it was a very close race. No worries. Thanks for showing up. Hope to see you at one of the other sessions coming up soon. Certainly the races that we have planned. I think everyone did a great job today driving clean, except for me apparently. So hopefully people on the chat got their questions answered. Like I said, if you have any more questions, go to the Facebook group or go to the website, and there should be a link on, I think, the front page of the sim racing section where you can email me. Happy to answer any questions about hardware and software and stuff like that, as is everyone else in the Facebook group. There's been a really good community building there, so definitely appreciate that. So I'm guessing we have to wait for this 50-second counter now. What? How did that happen? Mike N got a 32-second penalty. What was that for? Plus 2 minutes 53. That can't be right. It looks like Mr. Glory disconnected or something. Interesting. Alright, so what we'll do on normal sessions is we would save the replay and probably upload that to YouTube. We'll also use that to review what went on. So I'm actually going to do that just because I want to see what we get out on these sessions. So turn to lobby. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of here. Alright, so we're going to kill that. So just before we end the stream, I just want to show you the community and the championships thing. So if you go to the community tab, and this is the same on the Xbox and the PlayStation, so I think this will be useful. Then you click on online championship. So the way it works is I have to go in here, edit the championship, and edit the driver roster. So when you are friends with me on Steam, I can add you in here. So we can see Lee's just added. I add him in there with a Porsche and select. I'm not sure, can't remember exactly which one Lee wanted, but let's just assume that it was number 16. Let's say it's that one. So we select that one, select and save, and now Lee is added into the race. So what's going to happen now is I come back out of here, I hit save, right, and now that championship is all there. Now I'm going to just go back in there, edit, schedule, and this one I'm going to delete because this is the one we did today, and I didn't want to limit it to the people who had just signed up. So I'm going to save that. So what is going to happen is Lee won't get an invitation until I start the lobby. So I don't know if you saw, but when I click on this, I get a join lobby button. When I do this, an invitation is going to go out via Steam, and you will be able to join the session. If we go view info, you can see the stand-ins. So what this is going to do is, as we go through the rounds, and you can see the rounds on the left hand side with the various dates in there, as we go through the rounds, it's going to add up the points, and I can go in here and edit points as I need to. So the schedule for each event, if I go edit and look at the schedule, let's pick up this one. So we have, why are there no practice sessions? Oh yes, there are practice sessions. So they all start at 7 o'clock, 15-minute practice, 15-minute qualifying. The idea here is you come back from work, you haven't driven all day, and you get a chance to just get back in the groove. And then we'll do qualifying and then a 30-minute race. So that's it. So everything's set up there. We'll save that just to be sure. Right. So thanks, guys. The season will start with. We'll probably change this to no damage and flexible setups. and we'll see how that goes. So thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate it, and good night.